Hey there guys, DMO73 here, bringing you another spoiler article coverage for the day. We are looking at more of the Shadow, the Darkness cards today. So we actually are starting with the special Magic Stone for Darkness for this set, Shadow's Memoria. First off, just very beautiful card. Very cool. If your J-Ruler isn't Girl in Twilight Garb or Dark Alice, Maiden of Slaughter, this card enters your Magic Stone area rested. That automatically says to me, okay, so if you're going to play this stone, you have to be playing Dark Alice. I mean, you could play it with other J-Rulers, but I mean, that means that you're going to literally be skipping a turn for stones, and I don't think anybody wants that. Its tap ability is just produce dark, so it's pretty simple, straightforward, instead of the fact that it just gives you some Darkness Will. But whenever a Shadow Resonator enters your field, target Resonator gains minus 100 attack until the end of the turn. So this is important because also I'm really glad that it's just attack, because if it was attack and defense, this card would be stupid. Because imagine if you have 4 of these in your Magic Stone area, then every time if you play a Shadow, something's going to get minus 400 attack. And if it was minus 400 defense, you could just play a bunch of 1-drop Shadows with 4 of them out and just like kill your opponent just by playing creatures, and that would be kind of unfair. But the fact that it's only minus 100 attack, it means that you're going to be able to make some different plays with the different Shadows that help them survive longer, because some of the Shadows have some interesting traits in terms of their attack. So if they're going to be crashing into stuff or swinging in, your opponent's not really going to be able to kill them by blocking, based on how you plan it out. So I'm actually really excited about this stone. I think it adds a very unique mechanic for Shadows in terms of battle interaction that I think we haven't seen before. So I'm very excited about that. So we're going to jump into the super rares first. First off, we have Elizabeth, the Shadow Princess of Blood. She's a 3-drop Shadow Vampire, 200, 900. Cool, the vampires are getting a little bit more love. When a Resonator is put into a graveyard from your opponent's field, you can recover this card, and it gains plus 400 attack until the end of the turn. So this says to me that this is going to be kind of a kill card for the Shadows. You know, you load up your board, you swing in with her, then you kill something else, you recover her, then you swing in again. Then you kill something else and you recover her, then you swing in again, and each time she progressively gets stronger and stronger and stronger. I don't necessarily know how all that interaction is going to work, but I do know that Shadows have a lot of interaction with sneaky ways to kill other Resonators. And again, she has that 900 defense, so she has a lot of ways to survive that first swing in that she's going to make, even though she's only a 200. She's probably going to be able to survive that first swing in even if you block, especially if you have those stones up, which are decreasing the attack of things as Shadows come into play. Then we have Dark Faria, Shadow Princess of Ebony. This card art is amazing. I'm just going to say that right now. Probably my favorite Darkness card out right now. 2-drop Resonator, Shadow 7 Kings, Awakening of 2 Dark. When this card enters your field, destroy target Resonator. So she essentially has the option to be a card like Carmilla, just to hit the field, kill something. Other Shadow Resonators you control gain plus 200, plus 200, so she also forms a field buff. And whenever this card deals damage, you gain that much life. So it's got lifelink. So that's really good. You know, especially if you have multiple of these on the field, they're just going to get stronger. You can use her to, you know, deal some damage to... I'm assuming there's probably going to be some Shadow spells that allow us to deal damage to stuff. And again, with the reduced cost, you know, with that reduced attack from the Memoria, as she swings in, even if she swings at something that's stronger than her, with the reduced attack, Faria is probably going to survive. You're going to get free damage and free life gain, because it's whenever this card deals damage at all to player or to a Resonator. So that's really good. Then we have the Dark Melgus, the Shadow Flame, Shadow 7 Kings, 4-drop, 1k 1k. So pretty heavy hitter. And the Awakening of Pay of Fire, and when this card enters your field, it deals 1,000 damage to target Resonator. So for a 5-drop, he can become kind of spot removal. I like that a lot. Even just by himself, 1,000 for 4 is pretty standard. And the ability to pay for 1 more just to burn something is pretty good. I don't think it's amazing, but I still think that, you know, Darkness needed some kind of heavy hitters, and we haven't really seen that yet for this set. Dark Arla. Shadow Wing. This guy is struggling. He's having a hard day. 3-drop Shadow 7 Kings. 700, 500. He has flying. And for 1 darkness and 1 colorless, this card deals 600 damage to target Resonator with flying. I'm torn about this card. I want it to be good. It might be good. But the fact that his ability only deals damage to things that have flying, I mean, he just kind of feels like pretty vanilla. I feel like I would just rather play a 0 than Magus of Null and get the damage that way or something like that. If it was 600 damage to target Resonator without flying, I feel like, honestly, I feel like that would kind of make more sense. You know, he's in the air shooting down at people who aren't. But, I mean, this is what the card is, so I could imagine some tricks where you like try to give something flying, but I don't really know if that's really that effective either, so we'll have to see. And then Dark Rezard, the Dying Shadow. He doesn't really look that much different, just has the cards. It's a 3-drop, but he has stealth. So that's the interesting part about him. He's a stealth resonator. 800, 800. It's not bad for a 3-drop. And stealth, you control 3 or more shadow resonators. When this card enters your field from its chance standby area, you may banish another resonator. If you do, your opponent discards a card and banishes a resonator. So that's really good because it doesn't target and it does hand disruption, and you're only trading 1 creature for another. So like you're swapping one of your creatures for Rezard, and your opponent has to lose a creature and lose a card. So like overall, it's like a plus 1, plus 2, you know, based on what you're losing, especially if you consider like maybe, you know, you banish a Mozart or something like that, or a Rasputin, and then you just pay 2 and bring it back to your hand anyway. So I definitely think that this card is going to be really good in Incarnate decks, the decks that kind of have that recurring engine or stuff like that. But even just as a 3-drop 8/8, that's pretty strong in terms of stats, and essentially he becomes a 2-drop because of stealth spell chance standby costs. So very cool. Or even ultimately a 1-drop if you play Kaguya 1.0. Just throwing it out there. Maybe we're seeing some Kaguya stuff. Then we have Joan of Arc, the Shadow Princess of Purity. This is the last one. So weird that Joan of Arc is back again, but cool. She's a 1-drop shadow, and when a resonator is put into a graveyard from your opponent's field, you can rest target resonator your opponent controls. This is huge. This is huge. If any of you played Kaijudo, there was a card in Kaijudo that did this, but it was like, it cost like 8 mana. It was very expensive, and usually when it was played, the game was just over, you know, because you would keep your opponent's board cleared very easily. Just kill something, tap something, kill something, tap something, kill something. The fact that shadows are getting it for a 1-drop is very impressive, especially when you consider combining it with Elizabeth. You play this, you play a kill spell, something gets tapped. Or you play this, something gets tapped. Elizabeth kills swings in, you kill something, Elizabeth untaps, something else taps, Elizabeth gets stronger and untaps, kills it. Then something else taps, Elizabeth untaps, gets stronger, kills it. I mean, these 2 cards combined can quickly just clear your opponent's field, like, by themselves. Very nuts, in my opinion. I definitely think that's going to be one of the big kind of combos that shadows are going to be able to pull, and I'm very excited about it because I think that I was kind of disappointed in what shadows had shown us so far, and I think that with this, I'm very excited to see what shadows are going to be able to pull off. I'm very excited to build shadows at this point. So there you have it, guys. That is the Darkness spoilers for the day. Go ahead and tell me what you think about these cards, what decks you would run these cards in, probably mostly a shadow deck. But always go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, this is TMO73 signing off.